as the conflict with Hamas, it became a major drag on GDP. The Israeli central bank, it's now lowered its economic forecasts.
And it also maintained that its focus on propping up the domestic currency remains. The shekel by holding interest rates steady. Now, the research division of the Bank of Israel revised its GDP growth forecasts for 2023 and 2024 downward on Monday.
Now, Governor Amir Yaron subsequently stated that a larger war would damage the forecast, which is based on the assumption that the battle will be restricted in the country's south. I'm quoting here, the longer and the wider the economy shut down, the greater economic impact of the war.
Yaron added, clearly a longer or shorter time span and developments in the war to other arenas will change the estimates substantially. This is a quote directly from him. Now, along with the updated projections, the Monetary Committee maintained that its benchmark at 4.75% remains for a third straight meeting. The shekel fell to mark the worst losing streak since 1984, since the Hamas attack on Israel on October 7th murdered Hamas militants, took hundreds hostage and murdered several in Israel and triggered retaliatory bombings in Gaza. The shekel has fallen every single day since then.
With a decline of about 6% versus the dollar this month, it's among the worst performing currencies in the world. Credit default swaps, or the cost to insure against default of Israeli 10-year bonds, rose to their highest level in 11 years.
Israel's economy is reeling from a crisis that shook bond and currency markets and wiped off almost $19 billion in market value from the country's main stock index. As a result, in an unprecedented move, the central bank has promised to sell as much as $30 billion to prop up the shekel. Meanwhile, the government is preparing a large wartime stimulus program which may increase the budget deficit to 3.5% of GDP.